AskRe did by valuable at 9938. Which well-known song is commonly perceived as cheerful, but actually has darker undertones? Most songs by Bay-Naked Ladies sound happy but are typically about dysfunctional relationships or depression. Pinch Me, Brian Wilson. 99 Luft Ballons is about nuclear Armageddon. Forever Young is about nuclear Armageddon. And You'll Never Guess What I Melt With You is about, it's nuclear Armageddon. The Macarena is about a woman cheating on her boyfriend while he's conscripted. Which is less bad, but still probably not something that should have been taught to every 90s kid. Don't Wanna Miss a Thing was in Armageddon. Born in the USA, Springsteen. Seconded, Came Here to Say This. Phenomenal artist, but as a general rule, any ostensibly uplifting song by Springsteen, safe bet there are lyrics that will quickly correct you of that impression. Last Train to Clarksville. The Monkees. It is about going to Vietnam. And I don't know if I'm ever coming home. I have loved the Monkees my whole entire life and had no idea. Copacabana starts off innocently enough, but quickly devolves into a tragic tale of lost love and Ashodance's inability to move on as she winds up a depressed alcoholic. This. Only recently paid attention to the lyrics and was quite surprised. For any Aussies, Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again? An iconic Aussie classic that crowds must respond to the main line with, no way, get fucked, fuck off. The song is a true story about losing his girlfriend in a car crash. The riff represents the ambulance wail as it heads to the scene of the accident that killed her. I think the guitarist wrote it after crowds responded with the now customary callback the band were unsure about whether to play it out of respect. Wow, I always assumed this was just about being stood up on a date, or maybe a breakup song. The audience callback kind of made sense back then. Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. They even say it's about crystal meth in the song. Deleted. The backstory of that song is even darker than the version which hit the charts. Original Gin Blossoms member Doug Hopkins wrote it to his ex-girlfriend who had broken up with him because of his drinking and cheating. It appeared on their 1989 debut album. Hopkins was fired during the recording of their second album, for which they re-recorded Hey Jealousy, changing the line "Trust me not to drink" to "Trust me not to think." That version of the song became a hit in 1993. Hopkins was annoyed about the lyrical changes and said he turned the radio off when it came on. Hopkins took his life in December 1993. The Way Fastball. The song was written about a couple out of Salado, TX. The wife had Alzheimer's and the husband had just gotten out of a serious brain surgery when they went missing. The bassist started writing the song when their missing persons report hit the news and finished it when 13 days later their bodies were found still in their vehicle after having driven off the road into a ditch. I will always think they drank up the wine and they got to talking. They now had more important things to say, and when the car broke down they started walking as some of the best storytelling in music. Suspense. Every Breath You Take. See also, Don't Stand So Close to Me. 98% of Outkast songs. Y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance. Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant. Awesome beat, songs about the Brixton riots back in the 80s and is basically about oppression and poor socio-economic conditions that sparked the riots. I imagine the vast majority of people who hear that song on the radio have no idea that Electric Avenue is a real place in Brixton. Dancing in the Moonlight. The singer and his girlfriend were enjoying a night out in the beach when some thugs came, beat him and raped her. He wrote that song to try and envision an alternate reality where there is a peaceful and joyful celebration of life. Sigh. This just killed one of my favorite songs. Bad Fish Horse Interior by Sublime. What I Got, and tons of other stuff by Sublime. Rockabye Baby, children's song. A baby sleeping in a cradle in the treetops then falls to its death. Nice message. There's a surprisingly dark, even sinister, side to many classic Mother Goose rhymes. Many Mother Goose rhymes started out as metaphors for political statements or moral warnings, set to simple tunes so they could be remembered and passed along. Not going to lie, I totally edited that last line to "and mom will catch baby, cradle and all," and my kids were pretty surprised when they finally heard the original. A lot of lullabies are like that. Lustful Life Iggy Pop. It's about a guy selling his ass for heroin, yet Carnival Cruise Lines decided it was great for a commercial. Once they used it in Train Spotting, appropriately, it started being used all over the place, inappropriately. All I Wanna Do Is Make Love to You by Hard Song is sweet and sexy about a woman picking up a hitchhiker for a night of no-strings sex, but when they meet up randomly later on, turns out she used him as a sperm donor and is passing him off as her husband's kid. The funny part is she says please understand, I'm in love with another man. And he's thinking, it was a one-night stand lady, what do I care? Maybe not cheerful, but so many people think Slide by Goo Goo Dolls is this romantic song about a guy running away with his girlfriend, and while that's part of the song, what gets overlooked is the lyrics about the girl getting an abortion, thereby causing her whole family to freak out and disown her. This prompts the desire for the couple to run away. Black Balloon is about heroin use, but it's so fucking upbeat. Fortunate Son by CCR. I swear people blasting this at political rallies and 4th of July events have never read the lyrics. It makes sense at anti-war political rallies at least. Most versions of Hallelujah throw a sometimes happy religious word in there and bam, it has to be positive, right? The Love Is Not a Victory March, It's a Cold and It's a Broken Hallelujah just gets me every time. I used to think Mr. Brightside was uplifting until I listened to the lyrics. I just found out the killers are Mormon, so now I assume he was catching them about to soak. I Took a Pill in Ibiza, Mike Posner. He revisited the song after it blew up and got remixed, and it's even sadder now. Foster the People, Pumped Up Kicks. At my last job the radio was constantly on in the background, always tuned to the same station. They occasionally played Teenage Dirtbag but bleeped the line and He Brings a Gun to School, but they played Pumped Up Kicks in its entirety. We've never had a school shooting in England, so why censor one and not the other? I can only assume they couldn't hear the lyrics of the latter and or hadn't bothered to look them up. Little Talks of Monsters and Men. Came here for this. Is she being haunted by his ghost, or is she just insane? Or is it both? The Escape, the Pina Colada song. It's about a couple looking to cheat. It was my own lovely lady. And she said, "Oh, it's you." Then we laughed for a moment. If that happened IRL there wouldn't be any laughing going on.